It is time for a battle of the healthy grocery store, Whole Foods versus Sprouts. Here's how the competition is gonna work. I'll do an apples to apples comparison from each grocery store when it comes to things like chicken, beef, bread, butter, and more. At the end of this video, we'll have a clear winner. Which store has better quality, better options, and better prices? Let's get shopping. Let us start the competition with winner, who's got the chicken dinner. So the beauty of doing this versus at Whole Foods and Sprouts is we can go beyond organic chicken because these kind of grocery stores have the only kind of chicken I eat at home, pasture-raised chicken. What's the difference, so we know, between pasture-raised and organic? Organic feed, yes, but never leave the hen house. 30, 40, 50,000 chickens in a warehouse. These only live outside, eat bugs, worms, and grass, and have a supplemental feed of grain. So this is an awesome company called LaBelle and Patrimony. They get pasture-raised chickens from Amish farms in Pennsylvania. And see where it says right here, heritage breed, slow grown. It's the way our grandma and grandpa used to do chicken. The conventional chickens are bred to get fast, fat really quick, so they go to slaughter. So this is boneless, skinless thighs, my favorite cut, for $7.49. How about boneless, skinless breasts for $8.49, or maybe the most economical cut, the whole chicken here at $4. You can butcher it up and do whatever you want. But this kind of chicken is superior quality, superior texture, superior flavor, and way better than anything else at the grocery store. So now that we know what it is, pasture-raised, and what they have, let us compare it to Sprouts. And just like Whole Foods, Sprouts has a nice assortment of pasture-raised chicken from Pasture Bird. But it's not always here. I talk to the meat guy all the time. They can't keep up with demand. And the more I seem to talk about it on stories and whatnot, the more it sells. But this is really good stuff. So it's pasture-raised, rotational farmed. Unlike Whole Foods, it has the non-GMO stamp on there. So that's nice because these chickens get a non-GMO feed. These are chicken tenders, but folks, I don't know if this is gonna be on sale when this video goes live this weekend, but you can get whole chickens right now for $1.99. The normal price, if we do the math, is $4.25, so roughly the same price as the whole heritage breed pasture-raised chickens at Whole Foods also, but this is the best deal ever. Maybe it's getting close to the sell-by date, but that's fantastic too. What was the price over at Whole Foods for boneless, skinless breast? About $8. Well, here you go too. Pasture-raised chicken breast, $8.49. Actually, that's the exact same price there. So we have breasts, we have tenders, we have whole chickens, we have, I love these, drummies, great for the grill, but great to braise low and slow. This is really fantastic. Like I said before, Whole Foods and Sprouts are the only grocery stores I know that have a vast array of real deal, pasture-raised, high quality heritage breed chicken. But who's the winner here? Because they have the non-GMO stamp on there, but that chicken from LaBelle and Patrimony over at Whole Foods is award winning. It won French awards, and the feed is top quality. It's so close, I'm gonna have to go battle chicken as a tie because both are really high quality. It's time to find out whose seafood is better for the seafood lover in us. Well, let's start at Sprouts here. It's a relatively small seafood monger counter, and I see salmon here, but most of it is actually farm raised. I do see wild sockeye salmon here for $13.99. I see some pre-packaged here, but I don't see my favorite, wild king salmon here. Maybe it's in the frozen section, so not the best per se here. Let's walk over to the chilled chest here. By the way, if you never see it in that case there, just come over here. For the most part, that's not fresh. That's previously frozen and thawed. So I see some shrimp here, which is nice, and there's some wild sockeye salmon product of the USA, frozen for $14 a pound. Be careful, because usually coho salmon is wild, and this is a frozen packet here, but it's actually farm raised. So they have your usual barramundi, they're a wild mahi-mahi, but a lot of farm raised, tilapia, Atlantic salmon. So honestly, the seafood here is a little weak. Let's head over to Whole Foods and see what they have. You'll notice that the fishmonger section at Whole Foods is vast. It has a lot of options, including what I teased earlier, king salmon. I've never seen a price like this. It's currently on sale for $19.99 a pound. It's usually about 30 bucks a pound. Do me a favor, look at the color of the king salmon fillet there, and then look at the sockeye salmon right there. It's different, right? My only issue with sockeye or coho is that it's very lean, which is why I usually make salmon patties out of it. But king salmon is the fattiest wild salmon you can get, so it doesn't overcook. And that's the reason why people like farm-raised, that it has all the fat, but that's from a man-made feed, that's garbage. King salmon is my favorite. They got it, Sprouts doesn't, and that price is amazing right now. And I didn't mention the shrimp at the fishmonger station at Sprouts because it wasn't very good. They had a couple farm-raised options. They have good wild-caught options, but because I live in South Florida, see where it says Key West pink shrimp? These are from Key West, Florida. It's pink because of like the feed of the shrimp there, and they're delicious wild shrimp that I oftentimes make into shrimp cakes. Great deal. You never want farmed fish or farmed shrimp. So far so good. They have the wild caught sockeye salmon fillets here for $15 a pound, but sticking in the king, I'm the king and nobody beats me, like Seinfeld. Look at this, they have frozen wild king salmon fillets too. That's super cool. It's $18 for 10 ounces. My friends, the winner is obviously clear in this one. In battle, seafood, Whole Foods gets it. When it comes to the beef, who's got the better goods? Well, it's gonna be interesting because we'll see a lot of crossover, but I know for a fact, Whole Foods has something that Sprouts doesn't, but Sprouts has something that Whole Foods doesn't. Let's start with grass-fed ground beef. You can find it a lot of places now, and just like almost anywhere, they have different fat to beef ratios, about $9.99 a pound, very nice. And they have a decent selection of grass-fed, grass-finished steaks. I see ribeyes, strips, sirloins, anywhere from $14 to $25 a pound. What I really like, if you watch the freezer case over there, is one of my favorite things I always have in the freezer. Force of Nature grass-fed beef blend, but the ancestral blend. See what it says? It's ground beef, liver, and heart. Ancestral blends are getting popular, and I love that because organ meat is so nutrient dense for you. I make all my meatballs and burgers out of it. It's $12.99 a pound for the packet here. It's an amazing deal. But what gets me really excited is, do you notice right down here? My friends, this is organic ground pork. The other white meat never gets any love anywhere. You can barely find organic pork anywhere. This is organic ground pork from Canada, from Du Breton here. It's on sale right now for a great price of $5.59, but it's normally $8 a pound. Awesome. How about organic loin chops and bone-in loin chops? So hard to find this. Whole Foods has it too, and they have grass-fed, grass-finished ground lamb, which I love to mix with bacon, which is hilarious because that makes it not halal or kosher, and then make kebabs out of it with a tahini sauce. Delicious. So there are some really great options here at Whole Foods, especially the pork. How's it gonna stack up to Sprouts? Let's find out. Well, just like Whole Foods, as expected, Sprouts has a good amount of grass-fed ground beef here. They have different fat percentages, and just for an apples to apples comparison, which we love to do in these versus style videos, the 85-15 100% grass-fed beef is $8.99. So very similar to the one over at Whole Foods, and similar also is the amount of steaks they have, right? They have strips, they have ribeyes, all grass-fed, $16.99, $17.99, about the same price there too. What is different though is I don't see a good selection of Bobby approved pork, which to be fair, the majority of the grocery stores give no love, no respect maybe to the ground pork or pork in general, right? It's very hard to find organic pork, but Whole Foods has it. They don't have any of it here. They do have grass-fed pasture-raised lamb also, but so far we get a little bit of a bonus to Whole Foods, but let's walk backwards like a moonwalk here, because where the differentiating factor actually is in this chilled chest that's slightly off from the normal meat. Now they do also have the Force of Nature ancestral blend, which I love. But what they have that Whole Foods doesn't have is two things. One, boom, almost impossible to find this at a grocery store. Grass-fed beef livers. It's a pound of them for $9.29. It won't show it here on the back per se, but see the vitamin A level? 380% of your DV of vitamin A. If you think a cut of steak is nutrient dense, which it is, the organ meat like liver, heart, whatnot is way more nutrient dense. The minerals are off the charts. The amount of iron in here is crazy. So ladies, that time of the month, eat liver and organ meat. This is great. We make beef liver pate out of this, sear it, saute some onions, blend it with a stick of butter. You're good to go. And they don't have it right now, but Will, the meat guy, told me it's just out. It's 100% grass-fed beef bones for a really nice price. Why is that a big deal? You can make your own homemade bone broth instead of buying the expensive one from the store. No stores sell grass-fed beef bones, but they do here at Sprouts. So this is another interesting run because the beef is pretty similar. The pork definitely goes to Whole Foods, but then the offal or the offcuts like bones and liver goes to Sprouts. So what do? My friends, this is definitely a tie. We'll take a quick break from the Versus video to talk about the sponsor, which happens to be at Sprouts these days. It's Armor Colostrum, and my link down below gets you 20% off your first order. This is Armor, and I take it every day. Desi takes it every day, and Rose takes it every day in her smoothie. The way I do it is take a scoop of the plain unflavored and dry. I'll scoop it directly in my mouth. Don't put it in hot liquids. It can kill the hundreds of living bioactives in here. So what is Armor Colostrum? It comes from grass-fed cattle. It's the early mother's milk. What lives in colostrum? It's the backbone of the immune system. Absolutely amazing for your gut barrier, respiratory barrier, and more. And because it is never heated, they use cold chain technology. It preserves the hundreds of living bioactives in here that are fantastic for you. If you haven't tried Armor Colostrum yet, I recommend it. My link down below gets you 20% off your first order. I would get a tub of the unflavored one or the travel sticks unflavored for the summer. Very good when you're on the road. Check it out, you will love this. Who's got the better cheese? Well, spoiler alert, they both have really good cheeses, but we have to get into the details, right? The devil's always in the details. And I love this selection right here by Organic Valley because they're all raw cheeses, but specifically this one. It's raw grass milk. So raw cheese is allowed in the US as long as it's aged a minimum, I think, of 6 months. So any potential pathogens are killed. But raw dairy isn't pasteurized with heat, so it's actually more nutritious and easier on your tummy to digest. But to get raw and grass-fed is literally about as good as they get. It's a little more expensive. That one's $10, but they have raw jack, raw cheddar, and raw mild, but this is the only raw grass-fed one they have. Now, this is really cool too, because I've never seen, until recently, Organic Valley has raw sharp cheddar slices. I buy this and put it on my turkey sandwiches at home and roasted sandwiches. This is really cool because you can find organic, like this Rumiano, which is nice, but raw organic sliced is super cool. And I just grabbed it from the monger over there, but I'm pretty sure all Whole Foods have it. This is a block of grass-fed British. It's British cheese. It is delicious. It has the most nutty flavor. I absolutely love it. I'll probably take it home with me. Now, if you're dairy-free, there just aren't that many options for you in general, but I do love with a passion this ricotta cheese. It's Kite Hill ricotta. It tastes like real ricotta, and it's absolutely lovely. But this is something local. I like to shout out local small brands. If you're in South Florida, this brand is called Mozzarella. It's actually a Pompano Beach company that gets grass-fed Florida milk and makes mozzarella. This is fresh mozzarella that's beautiful for charcuterie boards and whatnot. And that's about it for cheese here, but don't sleep on the lunch meat. Check this out. Because meat and cheese go together. I love with a passion, this is not just roast beef. This is not just organic. Look what it says right here. 100% grass-fed. In small print, they should put it in big print. You can never find grass-fed organic sliced roast beef. And by the way, it never goes on sale. I mean, never. It's currently on sale for $7.01, normally $8.79. This is the lunch meat I give to Rose every single day at school. So we have good lunch meat. We have epic cheeses. This is going to be really interesting compared to Sprouts. As impressed as I was by the grass-fed cheese selection over at Whole Foods, I think I'm even more impressed here at Sprouts. Like, they have the traditional stuff here, like Kerrygold and Old Crock, but this is great because they have the Organic Valley raw cheeses, but they have brands I've never heard of. This is Sierra Nevada raw cheddar. This one's smoked. I love the flavor of smoked cheese, and you can see it has like the smoke ring on there, and to get raw on top of that, so it's not pasteurized and it has more living nutrition, it's actually more digestible, is amazing. Speaking of amazing, this could be the only, I repeat, the only shredded cheese on the market that, look, doesn't have cellulose or starch to prevent it from clumping. This is that company, Raw Farm, that used to sell the raw kefir over there. Well, they have raw cheddar. It says grass grazed here, but I'm pretty sure this these guys only do 100% grass fed, but I've never, ever, ever seen raw shredded cheese anywhere and without the cellulose on there, and they have a block of raw cheddar grass grazed cheese too, right? This is a little expensive. It's $8.99 for the bag, but what about our dairy-free friends? Because oftentimes, I would say actually 95% of dairy-free cheeses are not Bobby approved. They're loaded with seed oils and natural flavoring. These guys do it right. It's called Nuts for Cheese. It's from Canada, and they make this brie wedge here. This is smoky Gouda. Amazing ingredients, no seed oils, no natural flavors, and it's fermented, so it's tummy friendly. They even have a dip here, a dill pickle cashew dip with literal perfect ingredients. I've never seen this at any other grocery store, which is very, very impressive. And if we come on down here, just to see the lunch meat, Whole Foods had that grass-fed roast beef sandwich meat. I don't think they have it right now, which is a bummer. They have the other organic varieties, but they do have the same Organic Valley raw sliced cheese and whatnot. So this is really interesting. And you're talking about amazing selections here for cheese, both dairy-free and regular, and lunch meat. But I think it's obvious. In battle, lunch meat and cheese, the winner, Sprouts. Who's got the better frozen food? Specifically like junky frozen food, think ice cream, think French fries. I don't know why, but over the years, the selection of ice creams at Whole Foods has never been good. There's literally not one Bobby approved ice cream on this entire wall. This is relatively new. It's Alex, and I will give them credit. It is made with grass-fed A2 milk, but they use cane sugar in there. But compared to the other ones here, like Ben & Jerry's or Jenny's, it's way better. I'd say Alex and probably Alden's are gonna be your best options here. Wait till Sprouts. They have one of the best in the business when it comes to ice cream, but there is something Bobby approved that's junkish right over there. This is brand new. I mean, brand spanking new to Whole Foods. The frozen manager said he got it because he saw me talking about it on stories. It's Jesse and Ben's house cut fries. It's one of the few French fries cooked in avocado oil, but spoiler alert, there's a tallow-based one over at Sprouts, and these guys used to work in restaurants. This tastes like a really good fast food French fry, either in avocado oil or in tallow. It's so new they don't have the price. So not good ice cream, good French fries. How does that stack up to Sprouts? I have said it before, but I'll say it again. Sprouts has the best ice cream game in the business, dairy and regular. So this is actually in my freezer right now. It's Cosmic Bliss twisted cookie dough. How could a cookie dough be Bobby approved? Well, number one, it's made with 100% grass-fed dairy. It's sweetened with coconut syrup. The cookie dough is made with organic oat flour, maple sugar, coconut oil, with real deal ingredients, no oils, no emulsifiers, no BS. This is so delicious. I gave it to my brother, Scotty P. If you followed me on stories last week when he was visiting, he's the opposite of me in every way, and even he liked this one here. Another selection that I gave my brother, and it's Scotty P and Bobby P approved, is this one. Ice cream for bears. Not all flavors, because some have natural flavors, but this vanilla bean was delicious. Once again, it's made with grass-fed dairy, sweetened with raw honey, and no BS ingredients. It had such a lovely, lovely flavor. My only qualm with this one is that the eggs are not non-GMO. So this technically falls under the better for you category, or almost Bobby approved. And if you're dairy-free, thrown in here, look at this. This is a chocolate dairy-free, made with coconut cream, honey, water, cocoa. Bonus points, coconut cream is high in healthy fats, natural MCTs, very good for you. And then Cosmic Bliss makes a dairy-free one here, sweetened with coconut syrup. All of these are great. When they have good deals, I would scoop it for sure. To get those kind of ice creams for those varieties, both dairy and non-dairy, is great. Now, we saw those fries over at Whole Foods. They have the same fries here, but a couple more selections. So let's show right here. This is actually new. I haven't tried this one yet, but Jesse and Ben's has the avocado oil ones. They have the tallow ones, which are my favorite, but now they have tallow sweet potato fries. Rosie loves sweet potato fries, and all it is taters, tallow, salt. They're currently on sale for $9. I'm gonna take these home later on. They're great. Now, in addition to the Jesse and Ben's brand, you get another brand here, Roots. They have Roots regular and sweets, and they're cooked either in avocado or olive. And even these, the sweet potatoes, are coated in a batter of potato starch and cornstarch, but it's organic. So you have a lot of really good frozen fry options here. I can't wait to try these tonight. But I think we could all declare that when it comes to battle frozen, by the ice cream alone, Sprouts gets the win. Who's gonna win battle bread, with maybe a little shout out to tortillas also? Well, I think this is kind of new because I haven't seen it in the past at Sprouts, but they have an amazing selection of Sprouts brand sourdough here. So I think sourdough is still like the most popular bread, and people love a real good fermented sourdough. Well, this is a boule here, and all it is organic wheat flour with the starter, but they have the regular, they have the San Francisco style, and I've actually never seen this. They have a everything bagel style, all with perfect Bobby approved ingredients with the natural fermentation. Let's say you like a freshly baked one, because this one probably comes from like a facility. Well, look at this. Go a few steps that way. This is still warm. Ooh, warm bread. Organic, rustic sourdough with legit ingredients. So they are crushing the legit sourdough bread game here. And if you come to the traditional loaves here, it's a bit lacking. The only one I see that's Bobby approves is the Dave's Killer with the power seed with the 1 gram of sugar coming from fruit juice at $6.99. My favorite bread actually is in the frozen section, and they don't have it here, so stay tuned to the part 2 of this scene over at Whole Foods. But if we come over to the wall of breads here, wow, everyone scatters when I come close. It's like high school all over again. The girls run away. So we have a lot of low carb options, but I don't like any of these. I did a really deep dive on bread a couple months ago. All of these low carb options have seed oils or resistant wheat starch that's very high in fiber. It's gonna wreck your tummy, in my opinion, and it's not organic or glyphosate-free wheat starch. They do have the base culture, but the one I like actually is in the frozen section of Whole Foods. This is their newer variety that has resistant tapioca starch. It's a little dry for me, so not the best breads here besides Ezekiel, which I'm sure they have at Whole Foods. But I said we'll do a shout out to tortillas. This is one of the best tortillas I've ever had. It's called Rise and Puff, and it's a puffy tortilla that when you put it in a dry pan, it puffs up, and it's made with organic flour and avocado oil and salt. That's it. It's actually very hard to find. They're sold out a lot, but they have it in. It's on sale right now, but it's normally $9.99. So that's our bread and tortilla options here at Sprouts. Let's mosey on over to Whole Foods. My favorite bread here does live in the frozen aisle, so give me a second, we'll get there. But on the wall of breads, I see something that Sprouts didn't have. It's Silver Hills. So the cool thing about Silver Hills is that it's sprouted grain bread. It's not perfect, but it's mostly organic sprouted grain breads. It does have 2 grams of sugar per slice. So if you did scan it with the Bobby Approve app, it'll say better for you or almost approved, because there are other breads that have way inferior grains and a lot more sugar. Remember those amazing sourdoughs over at Sprouts? Well, the only option I really see here is this. It's a take and bake organic sourdough loaf. I don't understand how these work. Are they par baked and then you finish baking them at home? It says 425 for 12 to 15 minutes. Either way, it is organic, naturally fermented, but Sprouts did have those 3 to 4 varieties at their store, and I just looked over at the bakery section. They have no of the freshly baked organic sourdough. So on this wall, those are the ones I would get. They do have the Dave's Killer, just like they had over at Sprouts for the exact price, but let's mosey over to the frozen section. This is my favorite keto bread of all time, and it lives in the freezer section for this variety. It's Base Culture. They have sourdough bread that I love. They have regular bread. They have cinnamon raisin bread that I make for Rosie for keto French toast. Why do I love this? Because the trend now for keto breads is tons of resistant wheat starch, which makes the fiber count like 15 grams, which is really, really high. And then they just back it all out with the net carbs. This is made with non-GMO eggs, cashew butter, arrowroot flour, flaxseed, almond flour, coconut oil, pieces of sauerkraut in here. It's delicious. It's expensive, but I load up when it's on sale. But I think they mismarked it because the other flavors are $10.79, but my favorite sourdough is $8.49 right now. Normally it's on sale for $7 to $8, so when it's on sale, load up, it's great. And yes, they do have the Ezekiel's and everything, but remember I showed you a couple tortillas at Sprouts? Well, this is an amazing tortilla. It's corn-based, and it's right around the corner. I'll put the price tag up in a second. But it's Hacienda. This is organic corn tortillas made with just 3 ingredients. You warm it in a plancha. They're delicious. This is organic heirloom blue corn with just a few ingredients. Rosie likes the blue one because it looks cool. Makes the best tacos. We made pulled pork tacos the other night. That was great. And remember at Sprouts, I had the puffy tortillas. Well, these are flour tortillas by Vista Hermosa, and it's made with the same ingredients. Organic wheat flour, organic cassava, that's an extra one, avocado oil, salt, and water. Really, really solid options here. So if we think about who's gonna win battle bread / tortillas, it's close, don't get me wrong. But between the best keto bread and a couple extra tortilla options, we're giving the win to Whole Foods. Who's got the better butter? One of the cool things about shopping at a Whole Foods or a Sprouts is you're gonna see options you will not see anywhere else. Like, yeah, you'll see Vital Farms, which is 90% grass-fed, Kerrygold, 95% grass-fed. But look at this, Maple Hill, the company who makes good grass-fed yogurt and milk, has a new European-style butter. 85%. We've made videos in the past about this, but European versus American butter. European has more fat. Fat is flavor, better texture, better for baking. Here it is, look. Remember last week in the video at Costco, the Ivy's carbon neutral cheese, and we couldn't tell if it was grass-fed? Now they have Ivy's salted European butter that's carbon neutral too. I read the comments in the video. People quoted the website saying how like they grass graze as much as possible, but we still couldn't get an answer if it's non-GMO or 100% grass-fed, but they have butter here too. And then Zeal Creamery, unsalted grass-fed butter. It's New Zealand, so I'm guessing it's European style too. So interesting options here. Some stuff I've never even seen before. What is the butter sitch gonna be over at Sprouts? I already see something that is super exciting that they didn't have at Whole Foods, and it's this. Fourth and Heart makes ghee sticks now. We're used to seeing Fourth and Heart in the glass container in the middle aisle. They make it in sticks that look like butter. Why is that a big deal? Because traditional butter, this is really good butter, is made of butter. This is made of ghee. So there's no lactose, no casein, a higher smoke point, and it's wrapped like butter, so you can easily cut off like a tablespoon. I love this stuff. It's clarified butter, but taken one step above. Awesome for cooking, awesome for baking. this is awesome too, a brand new brand, Rumiano. I know this name because I've seen their organic dairy in the West Coast of some Costco's. They have a European style grass-fed butter. And what's really nice is it's $5.29, and European style is the only kind of butter I will eat because higher butter fat. And I like how this one right here calls it out. 85% butter fats on the higher end, Strauss organic, European organic based. Wow, this is phenomenal. And I hate to say it, but I try to show you dairy-free options when I can. When it comes to butter, there's not one dairy-free option on the market. I just think in general, some things aren't meant to be plant-based, right? We have milks, we have yogurts. It doesn't work with butter. But you know what works? This is the Sprouts brand version of Kerrygold Spreadable. It's Irish grass-fed butter with olive oil. That's it, and it's only $4.49. So this is one of those times where like Sprouts is really good at getting things new before anyone else, including Whole Foods, and there's your case in point right there. So when it comes to battle butter, we gotta give this one to Sprouts. Who's got the better milk and yogurt, both dairy and dairy-free? I see a lot of options, so let's rock and roll. And I really like to see this. So milk, a lot of you guys know, organic's great, grass-fed even better, but how about bonus points for the Sprouts brand? Because they have organic, whole, grass-fed milk. Very few private labels have grass-fed whole milk, and look at the savings. I mean, that's $4.99 compared to the Organic Valley branded $6.99. There's no difference there, except for the fact you're saving a lot of money. Really cool. Have you ever seen this brand? A lot of people sleep on it, and I'm pretty sure Whole Foods has it, but Kelowna Supernatural, organic, grass-fed cream on top. So there's a layer of cream there. That's my favorite part. It's so fatty and delicious. It's $6.99. So really good milk options here, but very good dairy-free options too. Ones you can sip on, ones you can make your Flav City protein smoothie with. So we all know about Mulk, right? They have that basically everywhere. You know what a lot of people don't know about though? This one, new Mulk coconut milk, is delicious. They did a sponsored thing with me on Instagram to promote it. I fell in love with it. Obviously it's Bobby approved, but look at this. It's coconut milk with coconut water and Himalayan salt. The coconut water gives it a floral flavor. It's delicious. It's on sale for $6.29 right now. And by the way, sometimes Sprouts can be expensive, but always download their app. They show the weekly deals on there, and they will have a lot of BOGO offers you can only find on the app. My new milk that I use for my protein smoothies is Califia. They came out with this one, and this one only. It's 3 ingredients: almonds, water, salt. I don't use the other ones that have oils and gums and emulsifiers. This is really solid here too. So nice options. Let's go check out the yogurt. When it comes to the yogurt, this is my favorite option, and I think it might be the Bobby effect in real life because I've been talking about it so much the last like 6 or 8 months. It's sold out almost every time. Have you noticed that? See, even Jay over here. Do you want to come on camera and vouch for me, Jay? Very hard to find, right? Even at Whole Foods, they're always sold out. And this is the last one here, so I should probably take it home. It's Greek, but also 100% grass-fed. Look at the amount of protein there. It's 16 grams, which is more than triple a non-strained yogurt. This is amazing. I'll put it here for the time being. They have that at Whole Foods too, which is nice. I was asking Jay if they have it, but it's currently on recall. It's the Raw Farms Raw Kefir, and they have to put a picture of dogs and cats on the front because they say it's for animal consumption, but it's really for human consumption. It's currently sold out, but that's something you can find nowhere else, which is really cool. And let's say you want dairy-free options. Come over here, because I get equally as excited about dairy-free. And I know Whole Foods has it too, but if you've never had coconut cults, it's got a cult following. It's in these glass mason jars, and it's made with coconut cream, but this has real organic strawberries in here. And this is actually one of the highest living probiotic bacteria yogurts on the market, both non-dairy and dairy based. It says here, just start with a couple spoonfuls because it is so strong. Super yummy and good for your gut. And then I like also this one right here. Coco June makes a vanilla unsweetened that uses real vanilla bean. Not necessarily super high in probiotics like coconut cult, but really nice to eat a bowl full of it. Sometimes I'll whip in there some protein, and it's delicious. So we have some solid options when it comes to milk and yogurt, dairy and non-dairy. How is it going to stack up to Whole Foods? So when it comes to milk, I see a lot of the same players that we saw over at Sprouts, the grass milk, the organic milk, although they don't have a Whole Foods 100% grass-fed milk. So slight bonus to Sprouts over there. We have the A2 ones, which is nice because they didn't have A2 organic or grass-fed milk as of like a year or two ago. So that's great to see. When it comes to the plant-based milks, exactly the same ones. They have the Mulks, the good Calefias, all that stuff there. So far pretty neck and neck. The difference will come down to potentially yogurt here. Now, I showed the good yogurt over at Whole Foods and they have it here. Wow, they have it in both locations. That's shocking, right? Although that was the last one over at Sprouts. But this is a good one they did not have over at Sprouts. It's Tremona. So it's not only Bulgarian style or Greek style, but it's A2 organic grass-fed. This was actually started by a Bulgarian guy. My wife's Bulgarian. I'm a little partial to Bulgarian stuff, but this is really cool because A2 is the protein that's more digestible. Combine that with grass-fed and strained yogurt, which intensifies the protein. Very nice. This one comes in at $7.49. So I'd say between that and the Stonyfield, you have a nice option. But this is new also, and I discovered it because I couldn't get the Stonyfield grass-fed recently. But this is Maple Hill, who makes grass-fed milk we just saw over there. This is 100% whole milk Greek yogurt. Fantastic also, because it's pure 100% grass-fed. And they have the coconut cult, just like they did over at Sprouts, and the Cocoa June. So all things equal, it is pretty equal here. So when it comes to categories of yogurt and milk, we're gonna give it a tie. It's time to talk about eggs, and we're actually in luck because almost every time I've come to Sprouts, there's no eggs left, but they do have some good options. So what are we looking for in eggs? Ideally, pasture-raised eggs. And there's a few different options here. So we have the Sprouts brand of pasture-raised eggs. This is a dozen for $4.99. So this would be comparable to the basic Vital Farms, right? But it's probably about $1 cheaper. And it has the non-GMO stamp, which is really nice too. I usually eat at home the 18-pack here of Vital Farms organic pasture-raised. I like it to be organic because the supplemental feed for the pasture-raised chickens will be non-GMO organic. And this is $13.99 for 18 eggs. I'm pretty sure it's probably the same price as Whole Foods. We have a organic pasture-raised brand here. The cool thing about Sprouts is you'll see like random brands. This is Farmer's Hen House, organic and pasture-raised, $5.99. And I was wondering if we would see this here, but this is eggs that specifically call out soy and corn free. The beauty of going to a local farm for eggs, which is what I always recommend if you can, is you'll find usually pasture-raised corn and soy free. This is from Chino Valley, which I remember back in the day they had pasture-raised Chino Valley at Trader Joe's many, many years ago. It is organic, but it doesn't say anything about pasture-raised, but it is cool to see corn and the soy-free. So they have good options here for pasture-raised. Let's see what they have over at Whole Foods. It's late in the day, it's almost 5 o'clock, but they still have a decent variety of eggs, which is impressive as of late because they get cleared out early. So they have a lot of the same players we saw there. They have the organic Vital Farms. They have a fun one, actually. If you haven't tried these, they're True Blues. So they have a blue tint because that's the variety of the heritage eggs there. And Sprouts had the pasture-raised option too, and we have an 18 count of pasture-raised Whole Foods eggs for $9 here also. So all in all, very similar. I think it's nice to see that both actually have eggs, which has not been the norm lately. So because of that and because of the similarities, I think we're gonna call this one a tie. Who's got the better fats or cooking oils? Well, it's a small-ish selection here, but maybe it's mighty at Sprouts. There is something here that isn't anywhere else yet, and it's one of my new favorite fats. It's algae. So this is fermented seaweed that gets fat naturally in fermentation, pressed into algae oil. I think it says it on here. It's one of the highest heat cooking oils at a smoke point of 535 Fahrenheit, and incredibly high in omega-9 fatty acids, and has a natural buttery taste. I love it for searing or putting in recipes where you don't want a flavor. It'd be a swap for canola oil. It's great. Well, there's a decent amount of extra virgin olive oils. We have the usual ones like California, but just the California one, not the global blend. We got the Parmigiano from Sicily there. We have Sprouts brand extra virgin. If we check where it's from, it's just from Spain, from single origin, which is nice. I'll pick that up in a minute. We have ghee. So earlier we talked about the ghee sticks from Fourth and Heart. This is what they're known for. This is the ghee scoopable in a glass jar. I love it. $13.99 here. Beef tallow is getting very popular. The Epic brand's been making it there forever. And then we have avocados and coconut oils here. So that's the fat selection at Sprouts. Let's check out Whole Foods. There's a bigger selection of oil, specifically extra virgins here at Whole Foods. And the one on my Kindred counter right now is this. It's Costa Rica olive oil. What I like about it, it's single origin, early harvest from Greece. Early harvest oils like olive oil have a higher polyphenol count, but they have a lot of good single origins. Look at this. So they have the same California, just from California. They have Lucchini, just like they did over at Sprouts. But what I like is their private label brand is the 100% California. This would be equivalent to this, but cheaper. It comes in at 53 cents an ounce, very nice, but so many options to choose from. The same one from Sicily, Parmigiano. We have another Cobram from California, so a lot of good choices. They also have a few more options of Fourth and Heart ghee, but it is an extra, I don't know, $2 here, which is interesting. And they do have the fats and the avocado oil, so I'd say it's pretty close. To be honest, you can't go wrong with either one, but because of the extra varietals of single origin extra virgins, I'm gonna give it a slight win to Whole Foods. The numbers have been tallied by the accounting team, and unless I'm wrong, we have a tie. I was hoping there'd be a clear winner, but to be honest, both stores are really great, and both stores have edges here and there, but at the end of the day, it's a tie. You can let me know what you think down in the comments down below. But either store you shop at, I would follow my tips of downloading the apps. Lots of good deals here at Sprouts. Lots of good weekly deals also at Whole Foods. And you can't go wrong. But that is it for another Versus. If you want to see another Versus grocery store, you leave a comment down below. But I leave you like I always do from the grocery store. # keep on cooking. Mad love from me to you. And peace. Bye.